For several hours, neither Testarossa nor Twilight fell. They remained suspended above the frozen land, surrounded by a storm of ice and snow. Magic tore through the white sky again and again, only to vanish against Twilight's defenses. Nuclear attacks arrived with deliberate delays, striking from different moments and directions, yet Twilight erased every one with effortless precision. Still, something about the battle refused to make sense. Testarossa was bleeding. Her military uniform hung in torn strips, and burns marked her skin beneath it. She should have been exhausted. She should have been struggling to remain airborne. Instead, she stood with the same calm dignity she had shown at the beginning. That was what began to irritate Twilight. He could destroy everything she sent against him. His pseudo-dragon body could be reduced to ash and regenerate as though nothing had happened. Even when Testarossa finally unleashed White Flash Annihilation Flame Tyrant, the ultimate magic created through Belial, the result remained the same. White fire swallowed Twilight whole. His body burned away. Then it returned. The ashes gathered into flesh, bones, and form until Twilight once again hovered before her, completely restored. His confidence returned with him. But Testarossa smiled. The expression was subtle, almost elegant. There was no frustration in her eyes, no desperation after seeing her strongest attack fail. Only certainty. Twilight's gaze sharpened. The wounds covering Testarossa were real, but they were too deliberate. Her uniform had been torn. Her body carried burns and impact marks. Yet somehow the damage had never reached the point where it should have incapacitated her. She had been pretending, not pretending to be injured entirely. She had allowed his attacks to connect, but only enough to create the appearance of vulnerability. Every exchange had been carefully controlled, and Twilight had fallen for it. His greatest weakness was not his immortality. It was his curiosity. He enjoyed understanding his opponents. He enjoyed watching them struggle, studying their reactions, and discovering what they were hiding. His overwhelming power had made that habit harmless for centuries. Against Testarossa, it became a weapon turned against him. She understood exactly what kind of opponent stood before her. Twilight believed the difference in strength made him untouchable. Testarossa knew that the difference in strength was precisely why he could afford to become careless. The battle had never been about overpowering him. It had been about making him look in the wrong direction. Twilight eventually revealed his own authority. Angra Mainyu, the king of evil. The power descended upon Testarossa like an entire hell opening beneath the sky. Malice flooded the battlefield, carrying the resentment of the dead. Eternal recurrence attempted to imprison her inside a world where destruction would repeat forever, forcing her soul through nightmare after nightmare until nothing remained. The darkness swallowed everything. And then, nothing happened. Testarossa was still there, unharmed. For the first time, Twilight's confidence cracked. His calculations accelerated beyond comprehension, searching through every possibility. Eternal Twilight should have been absolute. There should have been no escape. Yet Testarossa remained untouched. Her smile deepened. The preparation was complete. Nihilistic end. The world disappeared beneath white. It was no longer merely Velzard's snow and ice. A deeper whiteness spread through everything, a darkness so pure that it overwhelmed sight itself. The surrounding world vanished behind an endless white void. Twilight's body began to disappear. Regeneration could no longer keep pace. The white darkness consumed him faster than his body could reconstruct itself. Yet even then, Twilight refused to focus on his own destruction. His mind continued searching for the answer. Then, he understood. The white darkness was void. Testarossa had been carrying it throughout the battle. She had concealed it inside the frozen environment, maintaining the ultimate destructive energy in a harmless state, while deliberately keeping Twilight's attention fixed upon herself. Every attack, every wound, every moment of apparent weakness had served the same purpose. She had been building the trap around him, and the trap was already closed. Twilight's immortality should have made the entire strategy meaningless. Even if his body and soul were destroyed, he could regenerate. But Testarossa had discovered the flaw. Twilight's existence depended upon information. Void did not merely destroy bodies, it erased the information carried within information particles. His orders could no longer travel, his existence could no longer synchronize, his heart no longer responded. The realization came too late. Testarossa's thoughts reached him through the collapsing domain, cold and almost gentle in their finality. My void was not summoned from hell. The meaning struck deeper than the words. She had not merely summoned destruction. She had opened something within herself and drawn upon the void through the authority of Belial, combining it with nihilistic world until the impossible became manageable. The feat required absolute control. One moment of lost concentration would have destroyed everyone around her, yet she had maintained it while fighting Twilight for hours. That was the true victory, not the strength to destroy him, the discipline to control something that could destroy everything. Twilight's consciousness vanished into the white darkness. His curiosity remained unsatisfied. Inside Moss's barrier, silence settled over the survivors. None of them could clearly see the battle anymore. The white darkness outside had swallowed the landscape, leaving only a faint pressure that seemed to creep through the barrier itself. Moss understood enough to feel uneasy. Testarossa had fought Twilight at close range when she normally would have kept her distance. She had allowed herself to be wounded when every instinct told her to avoid damage. And now Void was corroding Twilight from within. The realization left him nearly speechless. Testarossa had never deactivated it. She had been maintaining Void throughout the entire battle. The possibility was terrifying. If her concentration had failed for even an instant, destruction would not have distinguished friend from enemy. But Testarossa had controlled it perfectly. Then Twilight disappeared. The pressure vanished with him. For a brief moment, relief spread through the barrier. It lasted only a moment. Outside, Guy and Velzard were still fighting. Their auras collided across the frozen sky, red against white, each impact sending waves of snow across the ground. Testarossa had defeated Twilight, but she had not ended the greater crisis. Guy understood what she had accomplished. He also understood something else. Twilight had not truly been destroyed. Testarossa had discovered that his main body existed within Velzard. Her void now covered Velzard's body, severing Twilight's connection to the information that allowed him to regenerate. That gave Guy the opening he needed. Testarossa descended toward Moss's barrier, this exhausted beyond what her proud expression would admit. She could barely maintain herself in the air anymore. Guy watched her land, leave the void covering Velzard. Testarossa understood immediately. She agreed to lend it to him. Then, she finally allowed herself to rest. Guy turned back toward Velzard. The battlefield changed. Until that moment, their enormous clash had been a prolonged test, neither truly committing everything. Now, there was no reason to hold back. Velzard's eyes remained fixed upon him. For years, she had buried her emotions beneath absolute control. Jealousy had been frozen inside her heart, sealed away so that her original purpose could never be forgotten. But now, the ice inside her was breaking. She wanted Guy to look at her. She wanted to defeat him. She wanted him to acknowledge her. That desire had become something far more dangerous than manipulation. It had become her strength. Velzard unleashed her power. A freezing wave swept across the battlefield. Mountains in the distance collapsed as their foundations lost the bonds holding them together. Guy slipped past the attack by the narrowest margin, feeling the cold tear through the defenses around him. He smiled. Velzard was still terrifyingly strong. And now Guy finally stopped holding back. The battle between them had entered its true beginning.